Good evening. I'm WSA 9 meteorologist Topper Shutt. We have a weather impact alert now through 6 p.m. tomorrow. So we've got the weather impact banner there, and we've got the red tie on. So that means, hey, something's going on. So here's the radar past couple of hours. Thankfully, nothing's been severe since we had that one warning earlier this evening in Stafford County. But it's becoming a little more active. We see a couple of things to jump out at you. This storm is really blossoming just south of Hagerstown, about to cross over 70 and 68. And then this activity down to the south is heavy, but right now nothing severe, but rainfall rates are very impressive. And also notice there's more activity back to the west. So we've been pretty lucky, in the immediate metro area so far, but radar is going to fill in as we go through the night and certainly as we go overnight into Friday. So let's give you a little closer look. There's the storm in Hagerstown, again heavy, but not severe at this moment. So let's go down to the south. This is where it's been really pretty active much of the evening, especially with heavy rain. We've seen rainfall rates 1 to 2 inches. We had hail with this storm earlier. This is actually the same complex that produced that severe thunderstorm warning around 6:30 in Stafford. It's still heavy rain in Montrose and back toward Port Royal rather. But everything is, I'm not picking up any hail, not picking up any big winds right now. So let's go ahead and look at just a couple of things. We'll look at the rainfall amounts around Port Royal because that's pretty hefty. I don't think we'll see any flooding with this storm, but still, it's potentially a heavy storm. And again, the rain is the heavy rainfall rates are the big problem. So we'll kind of query this and just see what we got going on down toward Front Royal, right about there. Okay, let's see what we have, and it should be that. I don't think that's contaminated. We'll say 2 inches to 3 inches of rainfall per hour. The good news is they are moving off at about 25 miles per hour. The bad news is they're kind of stacked up here, what we call training. So when you have one against the other, this could lead to some minor flash flooding later tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. That's one of the bigger threats we have. In terms of other rainfall amounts down just north of Montrose, looking at rainfall there, probably pretty similar. Yeah, 3.4 inches per hour. Again, the good news is it shouldn't sit over you for an hour, but the bad news is it's, pretty flat down here, and rainfall has a hard time percolating into the ground and also running off. And then over here, south of Solomon's, rainfall rate here, not crazy, but probably over an inch per hour. If we can just get that going, it may not. There you go. So yeah, not quite an inch per hour. And then where you see the green here, Leonardtown and south of Mechanicsville, that's all rainfall rates anywhere from 0.2 to around 0.4 of an inch per hour. So nothing crazy heavy in Leonardtown right now. The heavy activity is certainly down to the south, down toward Montrose and also over toward Port Royal. And we'll keep an eye on this because it's possible we could see this activity kind of just keep training off to the east. If that were the case, areas now getting heavy rain will continue to get heavy rain until this storm clears everybody out. They're moving essentially off to the east at about 25 miles per hour. Now, we're going to reset here for a minute. And again, in the metro, I mean, you're fine. It's Thursday night, Friday's Eve, I know. We're okay for a while inside the Beltway and just outside the Beltway, but this storm popped up really in the last hour, and it's a pretty hefty little storm. I don't see any hail with this storm, but we see some big rainfall rates. So it's going over 40, going over 68, and also 70. We'll kind of query some of the rainfall rates here. And I suspect just northwest of Boonville, it's pretty impressive right now. Yeah, 2.74 inches per hour. The good news is this is moving off to the north and the east at about 25. The other good news is there's nothing down here to really replace it. So once this moves through, the heavy rain will abate for a while. And that's what we're looking at tonight. Some of these will maybe have the rumble of thunder, a couple of lightning strikes. Once we get through tonight, tomorrow's alert is just more for plain old-fashioned rain. And between the rain tomorrow and the drop in temps, we were like 78 today. Tomorrow, we're going to see most of the burbs holding the 50s. So that is much more like March than May. Not a lot of fun. So let's go ahead. We'll track this one, and we'll kind of put a storm tracker on it. Again, it's moving off to the north and the east at about 25 miles an hour. It's going to head probably just miss Thurmont. Probably just barely hit Thurmont as it rolls off to the east. If we can get the storm tracker to work there, that would really be nice if it would work, wouldn't it? Let's try it like this, okay? Bam, there we go. Oh, nope, Stand by. Boop. Okay, so we'll kind of draw a little fan here, all right, and we'll give you an idea where it's going to go back into, I would say right about like that. So it's going to go over to Waynesboro at about 9:20, so you've got about 15 minutes. Smithsburg imminently 5 minutes. And again, the main threat with this storm is heavy rain. So rainfall rates 1 to 2, almost 3 inches per hour with this. I don't see any lightning. The lightning is not showing up. Don't see any hail or gusty winds. So that is, I guess, the best news that we have. But remember, this is still going to put down some pretty heavy rain in the next 20 minutes or so right in that vicinity north of Boonesboro. Probably going to miss Lewiston and certainly miss Frederick. So if you're doing something right now in Frederick, you have another couple of hours before everything kind of fills in tonight. Certainly by midnight, we're looking at a pretty widespread area of rain and showers. As we go through the night, we're going to lose any instability. We don't have a lot of instability right now. We're going to lose most of that. So we're going to kind of transition from showers and occasional isolated storms to just plain old rain tomorrow. It's going to be wet and kind of cold at the bus stop. I mean, it's going to be in the 50s tomorrow morning, so like 20 degrees cooler tomorrow. So keep that in mind. Laying out clothes tonight for the kids. They're going to need some kind of jacket and then a shell to repel the rain, because it's going to be raining pretty much everywhere across the metro tomorrow morning. So prepare for a slow commute, a wet commute, and wet and chilly at the bus stop. We're seeing a lighter storm. We'll watch this, see this blossoms a little bit just north of Martinsburg. That also would just kind of move northeastward right over this system here, but I don't think it's going to blossom like that one. But we'll say this is a pretty impressive little rainmaker north of Boonesboro. So again, all the way to Friends Creek at about 9:36. So another 20 minutes or so, 19 minutes or so. And there's some light rain in Boonesboro. This is just updated. It's a light rain in Boonesboro right now, but unless that could just graze northern part, for the most part, Boonesboro, you're okay. And Frederick, you're certainly fine. I don't see any rain with that at all for you guys. I think you're in good shape. And we don't see any lightning. That also is good news. Now, let's go back out for a second, and we'll kind of reset. And we have, so this is ground clutter, don't worry about that. So we have these storms down to the south. We'll watch these storms. They've gotten a little stronger. See the areas of yellow? It's a little heavier rainfall around 15 south of Culpeper. And those will train northeastward toward 95 and up toward D.C. as we go through the night. But it may take until, midnight to get everybody with some rain or showers across the board. But by morning, we're going to see rain across both sides of 95. I'll get the futurecast in a second. So again, right now you're in good shape around the metro, isolated heavier rainmaker up around Hagerstown, but north of Frederick, and then this activity down toward Leonardtown, in between Leonardtown and Newland. That's going to continue to move. This is moving almost due east, and this is, I said, moving off to the north and the east at about 25. So good news, no lightning, no hail, no winds. These are not going to be severe. And you know what? We need the rain. A lot of us are in a severe drought. D.C., north and west, through all Loudoun County, much of Fairfax County, kind of up either side of the river. We're in a severe drought. And it's not just this year. We've been having a deficit since last year that has carried on to this year. And as I mentioned, you don't want to go into summer with a big deficit. It's hard to make up rainfall in summer unless you get the remnants of a tropical system. And then that can lead to the other spectrum of flooding. So all in all, I think we are, in pretty good shape. We're going to get some much beneficial rain, and the good news is we don't see any flooding with this. So this is 10 o'clock tonight on Futurecast. It's updated about 20 minutes ago. Temperatures in the low 60s. And notice the winds are more northerly, northeasterly. And we're low 60s across the board, some mid 60s down toward Fredericksburg at 10 o'clock. So if you're walking the dog tonight before bed, you are going to probably run into some light rain, Leesburg and Frederick, Gaithersburg, Fairfax, and even D.C. So just kind of prepare for that. That's kind of a nuisance thing. And that's one reason we issue weather impact alerts. Is it going to be nuisance weather? You have to change your plans, and or is it severe? In this case, it's mainly nuisance. So get you into midnight. Then we see these storms or areas of rain pretty heavy, D.C. south. It seems to be, trending more into southern Maryland, even the northern neck, down into Westmoreland County and around Reedville as you go through the night. Temperatures now, check this out, 55 in Hagerstown, 61 downtown. And that midnight temp may be as warm as we get tomorrow. I think 62, 63 is about all we can hope for. In fact, I think temps will fall during the afternoon. And what's kind of weird about this is that a front's going to go through tonight around midnight. And a lot of times all the showers and storms are ahead of the front, and the front goes through and we clear. In this case, the front's going to go through, and then we're going to have what we call post-frontal rain. And that's one reason it's going to be so chilly tomorrow. Winds out of the north-northwest. That's not a warm wind, even though it's May. So here we are at 6 a.m. Look at this, 53 Gaithersburg, 50 in Hagerstown, 49 in Cumberland. That's pretty chilly for May. 60 downtown, so we've fallen a little bit. And the rain essentially I-95 and west. So early in the morning in southern Maryland, you probably will start out dry, but don't let that fool you. It's going to rain there eventually. Here we go by 9 o'clock. Areas of heavy rain denoted there in orange and yellow. So Gaithersburg and up into the Frederick area. Now we have temperatures 49 in Hagerstown. 49 in Hagerstown. 54 downtown. 1 o'clock. Now we have rain getting into Charles County, pushing across 95 into Prince George's County. And again, this is not going to be storms, convective activity. It's going to be just plain old-fashioned rain. Again, which we need, so it's not totally bad. 53 Hagerstown, 53 in Martinsburg. That's at 1 o'clock on Friday. So if you're going to walk to get your lunch, be prepared for a chilly, wet afternoon. Now, the good news, by 6 o'clock, everything is essentially gone, even across the bay, even all the way out to sea. But we have a couple of straggler showers. But remember, this is the base map color. So we're going to see, most of us will see the sun set tomorrow, a little bit of sunshine. So we'll end up with a pretty decent Friday evening. The problem is temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s to around 60. If you have plans, outdoor plans, Friday night, rooftop dining, whatever, good news, not going to rain. Bad news, it's going to be kind of cold. I mean, 44 in Frederick, 45 in Hagerstown. That's not great for May. Only 50 downtown. So, and you see the arrows. Those are northwest winds. Remember, the direction is the direction of origin, so that's northwest winds. That's a cold wind, even only 50 down into Fredericksburg, and 49 in Culpeper. Wow. Now, the good news, the weekend forecast hasn't changed. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's going to be a chilly start Saturday morning. Yes, even at 7:30, temperatures upper 40s, low 50s. You got an early tea time on Saturday morning or a pickleball game, you need a quarter zip. It's not going to be windy, but it'll be breezy Saturday morning, like 10 to 15. So that's going to add a little chill also to temperatures already pretty low, upper 40s and low 50s. By 11 a.m., at least we're back in the 60s and pretty much full sun. Clear as a bell. By 6 o'clock, really nice Saturday evening. 74 downtown, 72 in Hagerstown, even 73 in Martinsburg, even 72 in Cumberland. So everybody makes it back to at least 70 on Saturday. In downtown, we should make it into the mid-70s, no problem. Yes, a little bit of a breeze. You see the arrows, still some northwest winds. All right, 11 o'clock Saturday. If you have plans outside, yeah, you could probably do some rooftop dining. It won't be as cold as Friday night, but, still, it's in the 50s. 60 downtown, 54 in Hagerstown, and maybe 60 down in Fredericksburg. So kind of chilly. Make sure the rooftop has some space heaters. By 7 a.m. on Sunday, really nice but cool. Not as cold, but cool. Temperatures in the 50s. Don't see any 40s. That's good. So good start to Mother's Day. And then by noon on Mother's Day, just simply spectacular. 75 downtown, upper 60s, almost 70, Hagerstown, Martinsburg, Winchester, and 73 in Fredericksburg. Really pretty nice. By 5 o'clock on Sunday, we have generally clear to partly cloudy skies, and by Sunday evening, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 70s. So a really nice Mother's Day. Now, let's talk about the weather impact alert. We extended this, to Friday evening. So it goes now until Friday at 6 p.m. Could we trim that back a little bit. We will as we get closer, and we know exactly when the rain's going to end. But in the meantime, the impact's going to be rain and storms. And in those rain and storms, especially rain tomorrow, there'll be some heavy downpours. So keep that in mind. So what do you need to know? Well, it's going to be a wet and therefore slow commute. I want to leave a little bit early Friday morning. Always say download the WSA 9 app. If you allow us to push you notifications, if anything were to be severe, we'll send you a notification. You'll get it on your device. That is also something you need tomorrow, an umbrella. You also need a coat or a jacket and then kind of a shell to keep the rain off. It's going to be pretty miserable to start. So we'll graph out Friday. See, temperatures struggle. I mean, they go down a little bit. They try to kind of just claw their way back to 60 at 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. And good news, see a little bit of sun? Yep. By 6 p.m., we'll have a little bit of sun and temperatures around 60. But it will feel a little cooler because of the northwest winds. The weekend, again, still looks great. Low to mid 70s on Saturday and near 80 for Mom on Mother's Day. Really pretty darn good. So let's talk about some things on Saturday, all right? So here we go. We'll graph out Saturday for you. Full sun, sunscreen, please. This is a pretty strong sun angle, and with these temperatures and a little breeze, you're not going to feel yourself getting burned, and you will get burned quickly. So sunscreen across the board. Yes, we start out in the low 50s, but we end up just gorgeous, low to mid 70s. Again, the winds, northwest, west-northwest, 10 to 15, so it's going to feel a little cooler than it actually is. And then Mother's Day, wow. Do you have a brunch planned? Well, I mean, perfect. 10 a.m. near 70, low 70s at noon, and mid 70s at 2 o'clock. So you can eat outside. No problem with that at all. You will not be cool. Maybe a little bit cool to start at 10 o'clock if you do a brunch thing that early. But if you're doing a brunch in the afternoon, pretty much perfect. And not much wind on Sunday either. That's good news too. So there's the weekend. We haven't changed that. So here's the 3-day. We have the alert for the whole day of Friday for now. Yes, we might trim that back till maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. Saturday's great, mostly sunny. Mother's Day's great, high temperatures near 80. I mean, that's almost a perfect Mother's Day, really, even a little bit above average. After that, we start the week pretty nice, partly cloudy on Monday. Some clouds come in late. We're going to keep it dry, upper 70s, and then our next chance for some rain and some storms, kind of on and off all day, will be Tuesday. That may be our next weather impact alert. Even some storms on Wednesday, but we'll have a little bit of sun on Wednesday, a little bit warmer too. Temperatures around 80. And then boom, check that out. We're going to put an isolated storm in on Thursday, but who cares? Temperatures by Thursday will feel more like June with highs in the mid 80s. That's going to feel pretty nice. So again, we were upper 70s today. That 62 or 63 tomorrow is going to seem much colder, and it will be in the 50s in the burbs. But we have not touched the weekend for Mom. It looks spectacular. The Nats are in town Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The game will be fine tomorrow, but you're going to need a sweatshirt. It's going to be cold sitting around at the ballpark. Saturday's great for the game. Mother's Day also perfect for the game as well. So I'll see you in a couple hours. We'll have a new run-in, and maybe I can talk more specifically about kind of trimming this alert a little bit to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. And we'll also talk about the potential for some heavy downpours and where those downpours are going to be at 11 o'clock. So there you have it. If you're inside the Beltway or even just outside the Beltway, you have another couple of hours to get some stuff done, walk the dog before the rain rolls on in. Hope to see you tonight at 11. For now, I'm meteorologist Topper Shutt.